Concrete Mountain Scrap with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Free Pattern Friday. Friday is my favorite day, and I get to give you guys some fun patterns. So this is our block that we're going to work on today, and it's called Right and Left, and a viewer has wrote in, and she said she had like 15 yards of this kind of a print, and she showed me a picture of it, and she says, I've used it on backings, I've used it on this. She said, I just want it out of my stash. So I'm giving you, this is kind of the similar idea as to what she had. I don't have exact fabric, but I'm giving her some ideas on what to do with kind of fabrics like this. And this Right and Left is the perfect block. Now, before we get too far on this, let's do our shout outs because otherwise I'll forget. Teresa and Shelley at Treelotta are just having so much fun on their YouTube channel, guys. You gotta go check them out. As well as Sam Alberts. Now, I did not realize this, but Sam Alberts is another Canadian, so I was quite pleased with this. I thought, oh wow, I'm really impressed. So both of those channels are in our show notes below. Please go check them out. And if you like what you see, hit their subscribe button. Tell them that Brenda from Concrete Mountain Scrapmore sent you. You know, and do that, like, you know, words of love and encouragement they would probably love. Also, if you like what you're seeing on this channel, our analytics are saying that over half of you viewing right now aren't subscribed. Okay, we get that. But please make comments, share, like, subscribe, hit that bell. Also, there's a hype. If you really like what you're seeing here on these channels, please help us bring 3 free patterns a week out to our viewers. And we just have so much fun doing that. So, you know, like I say, that would help us out a lot on our analytics. Also, we have a Facebook group, and it's warm, it's welcoming. We have so much fun in there. So many different things going on there. The big thing is, it's a sewing room hosted by Discord, and the ladies that are participating in there are just having a blast, right? But the admins did say, please answer the questions and agree to the rules before you join the group. Otherwise, I can't let you in anymore. So this is an issue with Facebook. So yeah, if you're part of that Facebook community, haven't joined, please do. Also, I speak for free, and I'm going to have a second presentation ready for December of 2025. So if you've had me speak to your group before, you know, please ask for the second presentation. I would love speaking to guilds and groups. I just have such a good time. I meet so many wonderful quilters there too. So if you need to get a hold of me, my email is under the About tab, and you can message me through the Facebook group. As well, if you guys have shout outs that are quilting channels that I need to see and give shout outs to, please email me, send me links under the Facebook group, however, because I think that's so important, because I don't have a lot of time now to watch YouTube, and you know, that's unfortunate, but life is busy. But yeah, please, we love seeing those. Also, Twinkle Twinkle, one of the anticipated sew-alongs, starts February 25th, so save your strings, get them ironed, and pre-sort them by color families. So put all your reds together, all your blues together, because you're going to need it that way, because it makes this step one a whole lot easier if they're sorted by color families. And we always start with the hardest step first, and the hardest step is step 1 in this case. Also, our Zoom sew dates are the first Saturday of every month, and it is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada. So I think we're done. Yes, we are. So come on in. Let's get to the sewing of Right and Left. Okay, we're at the sewing machine, and this one is called Right and Left, and there are very few hard parts on this block, but we're going to do the hard bits first. We're going to sew, now, these half square triangles, let me just lay this out. Straight of grain is here, bias is here, so we're going to sew the 2 bias edges together and make that come together in a point. Oh, what is with this? Something that went wrong, awry. I don't know what it is. Something got caught. Oh, there it is. Now does it still turn up? Nope, it fixed it. Okay, I know what it was. My top thread or bottom thread got caught in the foot. Okay, so we're just going to keep rolling around, and we're going to sew them all the same way. Just very quick half square triangle. Now, if you're not used to working with half square triangle, these are really good ones to start with because they're very user-friendly. Because at the end, you have a nice straight edge. Now, this also is another user-friendly block because you don't have to sew any of those 7/8 and, 3/8, right? Like this is a 9-inch square. And these are cut from a 7 1/4 inch square, right? You cut diagonals twice, and you end up with your triangle. Very easy to piece together. So I'm just going to trim that dog ear, and yes, we're pressing to the dark because we can. I'm just going to lay these around, getting rid of that one lonely little dog ear. Now this is such a nice block. Such a nice block. And you could do this all scrappy or whatever. Now I decided we'd play a little bit with the darks, the mediums, and the lights. And we take a low volume that's a little crazy, right? Like this, I don't care. Call it, it's strawberries and, what are they, forget-me-nots? And it's a little bit of a yellowish buttery background. So I figured, okay, now that would be cute to play in with the yellow. So it kind of ties all this stuff together. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is 4th of July fabric that I had kicking around, but it's firecrackers. So that's always fun, fireworks is always fun. So the trick here is to darks on one side and low volumes on the other. That's the big trick here. So now, oops, my foot just fell off. So now we got to sew this all together, right? So we're going to start here, just like that. I'm just going to move this out of the way a bit. Now, you can line this up any way you need to. Some people, they do a fold method. Some people manipulate this until they got the same amount of dog ear on either side. Some people measure and crease their big center square, and we're just going to see where we're at here with this. So I just measured, eyeballed the right, the two little dog ears to see if they would turn out to the right size, right, or where they would be, There we go. Now, here's the other way. They take this part, I'm just going to press that out and away from the block. There we go. Now, what they do with this, some people do it this way, where they line up that edge and they make a little divot right there on the other side. And they've got this divot point, and now they're going to put this divot, or where that seam is, they're just going to put it there on both sides. And that's going to mark their center. And you could iron this in. You could iron all 4 divots in. You could do all sorts of stuff, depending on what your preference is. Some people pin, There's just different ways of doing it, right? And none of it is really wrong. None of it. Okay. So I'm folding that away from my block. Now, we're going to do this one, and I'm going to do the divot method here, I think. The divot method here is pretty good. There. There we go. Put the sew line, the seam right on that divot line, and hopefully everything measures up perfect. Yep, it works great. Still there. Like some people, when they're putting their quilt patches together, they pin everything. And if you're a pinner, that's fine. Pinning is not wrong or archaic or anything else. It's just the way you choose to do things, right? It's not a bad thing, is what I'm trying to say. It's not a bad thing. So just roll with it. Sometimes people too, they would have opened this seam, so when they press it, away from the center, they've got a little bit of room. Now this is a great one too for if you had a fancy center, you know, where you had a bunch of embroidered blocks or whatever that you wanted to put on point, you know, that would be perfect for something like this. Okay, here's our line. Put our little divot in. Get our divot on the sew line. And there we go. Make sure it's still there. Yes, it is. Now, there we go. And there. So, oof, I'm going to get rid of this because it's in my way. So now I'm just going to finger press this open, and I'm just going to cut off the dog ears just a bit, just to get the dog ears out of the way. But nobody needs dog ears. And they just trim off so nice. Okay, now, so everything now is pressed away. Now, you could have pressed these open if you want, and then pressed everything in towards that also. It's whatever is going to lie the flattest. Now, you also, on front, you have a perfect little 1/4 inch. Just gonna hold it there until, see where that divot is? That's your perfect 1/4 inch. From where the red fabric, oh, maybe I should get a different, oh, here, you'll be able to see it there better. Okay, right there, see where the red fabric hits the blue and the white? That's a perfect 1/4 inch. And you have that all the way around your block. So let me give it a press and we'll get to our ta-da moment. Okay, here's our ta-da moment for right and left. Yes, it's a very busy block, but it works because of the rules of dark, medium, and lights. Now, also with my lights are low volume, right? Because this is kind of it's got a buttery yellow undertone in the background, but it's also got yellow, green, reds, and blues, which kind of ties all the block together. So if you have some kind of fabric like this, and you're trying to figure out how to tie it together, yeah, you can do that. The only color that's really standing out and all by itself is the purple, but I mean, it kind of starts to work. I didn't realize until I went looking for fabric like this, because this viewer had 15 yards of it and she'd use I don't know how much for backing, but now she's left with all the leftover backing bits. So, and she was like, what do I do with it? So I kind of like, we came up with this one. This one works out really easy. 7 1/4 squares for the low volume and the blue, and a 9-inch square for the center. This is also a good block if you've got embroidered pieces that you want on point. You know, this is another one that would show them off really lovely in a quilt. So this is something to keep in mind. Anyway, so this is our right and left, or left and right, but whatever, however you want to call it. So I hope everything in your life is going absolutely fabulous, and everything is well in your sewing room, and your 1/4 inch is just perfect. So, and you win bobbin chicken. I haven't won bobbin chicken in a very long time here now, so it would be nice if somebody else won bobbin chicken. So, you guys stay well and take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.